Hello. I want to show you how cool my shirt is. Hold on. I could have obviously pressed record after I got dressed, but it's not as fun. It's called Trash Can, not Trash Cannot. Motivation? It's something. Okay, what am I gonna fidget with that doesn't make noise? I have so many of these cases and dentures. I went to the orthodontist today. Different one. He's like, with metal braces, it would take a year to do what you're talking about. I really want to like knock the teeth out of the guy who fucked my teeth up. You know, some spiritual guru I am. I still get pissed off. So one of the, I suppose, one of the benefits of like becoming spiritual, you have more control over your emotions, but also like I can kind of see the future. You know, I can kind of tell what's going to happen. So I want to talk about what's happening at work because I said a little bit about stuff, and things keep unfolding. Every time I go there, it's like, oh, it's getting worse. Things are getting worse. So there is I talked about it, like these guys got robbed at gunpoint. And in my opinion, they did something spiritually to open themselves up to that type of thing. Like posting, obviously, like posting where you're at and the watches and cars and stuff like you have is not a good idea, anyways. I believe that you're committing a spiritual crime as well. So it's not just it's not wise. And this is how I started framing my reference of how the world works is like cause and effect. And I was explaining there was a kid who is partners with these guys, and he was talking about how he's worried about telling his dad about what's going on, um, that his parents would freak out, and he was worried um, that those guys are a target and then he's a target. So he started bringing his gun to work. I think I said it was like his gun was sitting there, and I was like, "Are you expecting somebody?" And he's like, "I got jumped this morning." Um, and they were grabbing for his watch and his chain, and he thinks it's random. And I was like, "There's no such thing. Everything's happening for a reason. Get that out of your head." So I recommended him a couple of books. One is As a Man Thinketh, um, which is just barely. It's not stepping into the realm of spirituality. It's tricking you into spirituality. So it's like as you think, so you are. As a man thinketh, so he is basically. So like it is spiritual in nature, but he also had him buy The Alchemist. He said he hasn't read a book his entire life, maybe one book. It's like, okay, well, The Alchemist at least is a story, and you'll understand what's going on in your life better when you see that. So he's very open. He was telling me that he always questioned his faith. He'd have long conversations with his pastor, asking him questions, and then he's asking me questions that he would ask a pastor, and I actually have answers because I have the same fucking questions. Not that I'm right, but I'm like, yeah, does it make sense? God sent his son to sacrifice him to to learn something about himself, but he's also his son and he's also a ghost. And it's like a very fucking like, hold on, I'm taking notes. What? No, say that again. Okay, so like it should be a simple thing. What is all this shit? Obviously, if all the books were burned, like the story would change and it would never come back the same way. It's like you should be able to find God if you're illiterate. if there's a God. You should be able to find it without knowing language. Like Nell, lost in the fucking forest, or Mowgli, or fucking Gilgamesh, whoever. Some feral fucking person raised by wolves. Romulus and Remus. You can still find God. So, we were talking, he had a bunch of questions, and I was explaining to him that he got robbed because it was in his mind that he would. I was like, you manifested that. You had fear of it, so you created it. And then also, you opened yourself up to spiritual attack by you. He was posting a watch or something that he wanted to buy. And it's like, for example, I think yesterday was the solar eclipse. So I was trying to pay attention energetically. Is everything okay? Do I have energy? Like, I look a little bit less puffy today, but I know I'm going to be puffy tomorrow because I just had shot with a lot of sodium. Tomorrow, I'm going to be big. Um, so as I was going to sleep, I was like, why does it feel like I posted something on Instagram? And my fucking trainer was taking video of me yesterday and he posted on Instagram. I fucking knew without having Instagram. I was like, this is that same feeling. Imagine how fucking on it I am to be like, no, what did I do wrong? Oh, that motherfucker. Um, and of course, like working out is a good thing to show people, right? You're promoting blah blah blah. You don't. It's not your job to promote shit. Who fucking told you that? I'm promoting a healthy. Like, go fuck yourself. Shut up. Anyways, I'm trying to motivate people. You're trying to get energy from people. Like my thing. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Um, anyways, um, we were having conversations, and then I go, I'm gonna say specific stuff, and it might get convoluted, and I don't know if I'll post this because I don't know if it's a good thing to do, because I want to talk about what's happening because I feel like I know what's going to happen. And if I don't tell you now, and then it happens later, how do I know that I called it? You mean? I know it's a bad thing spiritually to talk negatively about people, so I'm not talking negatively, but I will tell you what's happening. Shit is going down. So, these brothers that I work with, in the last couple of years have really climbed the social ladder. And I see how they did it. They're very good talkers. They show very well. And then they're really schmoozy. And I have a friend who's really good at that. He has a lot of celebrity friends. It's just like he's everybody's best friend. He's a great salesman, dead inside, always like on the verge of a mental breakdown. Um, Shitty friend, frankly, who I'm still there for because I know that he needs someone real in his life, frankly. And that's also what I want to talk about, someone real. So these guys have done well for themselves. Like they are making money, they are showing well, as I said. But to have a meteoric rise, like to all of a sudden, like you hit the lottery kind of thing, you have to pay attention. Not that they're doing something wrong, but you have to pay attention because I told the younger brother when he first started making it, I was like, it's the devil that gives you money, not God. Look at the symbolism on the money. Is it fucking God? It says in God we trust, but it's all capitals. It's not capital G. So that means a different God, FYI. So he gives you that, and then lust after it, and then you become a shitty person for it. So when you are wearing designer stuff, when you are, um, it's kind of like you're being an animal. You're in your lower nature. It's like everything is about attaining stuff. You're basically in fear that you don't have enough or you don't have enough value intrinsically. So you need to show externally, just so you know this is what I'm worth. Just so you know this is what I'm worth. And I had a lot of people use me to get that status. You know what I mean? Men and women. It's a real bitch thing for a man to do, but um, it's the same kind of person, you know? So I've been around the block. I can read people really well. And again, I like these guys. I'm not making any type of judgment, but I do see what's happening. So, what's happening? I have a conversation with a kid who got robbed after the first guy. He's like, I have so many questions for you. Like, every time he sees me, he has the laundry list of questions. And at the end, he's like, I don't know. He says, I don't know if I should believe you. I'm like, you shouldn't believe me. 100% you should not believe me. Don't believe anything secondhand, but I'm telling you things that opens your mind. Now you're going to question things, which you should do. Question it and then find out for yourself. Don't fucking take my word for it. Who am I? So I go to do work because I'm not just there to fuck around. So I go do this job, and the media guy is like, "Oh, there was so much trauma today." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And honestly, like, I am an independent contractor. I don't like if the building burns down. You know what I mean. I'm not blocking the fire exit. I'm not involved. Um, but the drama there could affect my um, referral sources, right? So like, I guess you should know what's going on. So I'm like, what's going on? And he wanted to vent, and he's like, we were teasing this guy, and he told on us that we think the brothers are scammers. And then, so like, there's two businesses in this building, and both of them are my partners. So now one business is saying you got the other business is scammers. Now I hear I hear when there's like transactions happening. These guys are very good at, especially the older brother. He's clever, um, but it's very obvious what he's doing. He always asks for a discount. He was always working on me, and I usually give it to him. Like um, I've had people mistake my kindness for weakness before, but I can afford it, frankly, and like, I'd like to incentivize them to sell more, so it's okay. Um, Now, I guess they had a meeting. It was like one side is the brothers are like, so to the other business, you're saying we're scammers, and he's like, well, yes, you got someone had invested money, like 300 or 400 grand. A family friend. I said this in the last one. So family friend, 300 or 400 grand because her mom died and she didn't want to waste the money. She wanted to invest it wisely. They If it was my cousin and my family business was franchises, like franchise food, I would be like, I will help you set up a franchise, or it will even partner in it, so I can like mitigate your risk, or you have more of them or something. And instead, she invested in this automotive business, which most most of them do not make money, especially on paper. They don't make money, so bad investment. So these guys on one side are like, okay, you got 300 something grand. You put 70 grand into renovations in the building. Where's the rest of the money? And they're like, there was no stipulation what we could use the money for. She didn't specify what we could use the money for. We just gave her, we took the money in exchange for equity. That's it. Which maybe legally speaking might be okay. But morally speaking, reprehensible. This lady's mom's dead. And that's, you know, like, and to say this out loud and then have a meeting chastising me, you know? It's like, how do you not see it? When you watch movies, do you not know who the bad guy is? Are you like rooting for Darth Vader? Like, what? He's just trying to keep peace. Um, I've seen that it's a cultural thing, frankly. But there's also just, this idea that in order for me to win, someone has to lose it's not how it works, frankly. And when there's an uneven energy exchange like that, it always comes back around. So even this young lady, when she posted on Instagram and tagged them and tagged my company and other partners of theirs, it's doing damage to their reputation that you can't really pull back. Like once the cat's out of the bag, people are always going to be like watching. And I think there were negotiations with someone else to sell 50% of the business. I wonder if that will go through. Now, all this to say, I'm just setting the stage. These are all just, facts with a little bit of my opinion. Is that once the ball starts rolling like this, it just gets worse. So the little brother also has a separate company that's where he gets his main source of income, where they package and sell Section 8 houses to people on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like this. Now, when he started doing it, I was like, oh, my brother's into real estate. Why don't you guys talk? And when my brother called me, he's like, these guys have not done their homework on like my my brother was freaking out, um, saying what kind of legal exposure there was and all this kind of stuff. And they didn't listen to him. They were like, your brother's kind of weird. I was like, okay. Um, but again, before it blew up, I was like, be careful. All I'm saying, from what my brother said, I don't know about this stuff. From what my brother said, I trust him. He goes to all the meetings. He knows. So just be careful. He's like, okay, I respect you like an older brother. And then, during our meeting, he's saying that he had put me on a high enough level that I was like his older brother. And he's like, now I don't trust you and I don't like you and shit like this. I was like, sorry to disappoint you. But it's like everything I warned you about is happening in front of me, and then you're blaming me for it happening. It's like, remember what I said? You remember it? Look through your text messages. Like getting robbed and shot at, like it doesn't happen to everybody, right? It's kind of like oh, oh, shouldn't you like, all right, I'm fucking up. How am I fucking up? So I brought up to their friend, TMZ, the things that I see that they're doing that is basically earning bad karma. And in return, TMZ threw me under the bus. Now, I listened to some spiritual mumbo jumbo thing today about how people that are real, like people that are conscious, trigger people who are unconscious. Which, to be honest, happens to me all the fucking time. I'm like, I don't believe that I'm better than anybody at all. But I have been through things enough to see cause and effect, you know what I mean? And I've taken a lot of like I gambled with my actual life, like not just with things in it, but like I put my life on the line to understand the nature of this fucking place, this world. So if I have like a opinion on something, it's because I fucking like. I mean, how many people in the world would tell the mafia to their face, go fuck yourself? Granted, I was drunk, but I knew I wasn't going to let someone have power over me. Everyone I told that story to, except my dad, everyone was like, "I would have just given him money. You're stupid. Why would you gamble with your life? What if you got injured?" Blah, blah. I was like, "Well, I believe there's a God, so I thought that whole time I was fine. I thought nothing could happen." Now, someone told me a story, when I told them my story, that they have a friend who like goes to like a MMA gym and he trains all the time, and he was in San Diego at a gas station. Three guys jump him, and when one of them pulls a knife out, he just screamed and covered himself. And now for the rest of his life, he wakes up screaming in terror, having night sweats. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. So they're asking me like, "Do you have PTSD from war?" I was like, "No." Like that was, I never think about it even. That was my therapy. It was like I probably felt like him on the floor screaming before that happened. And after it happened, I was like, "Oh, there's God. Got it. I see." Um, Spiritual law. There's laws to this universe. So I know that, you know, my honest opinion is that all the evil people throughout history that took us to war and killed people, enslaved, blah, 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 I believe they are punished. But I believe their punishment is essentially replay the level over and over again until they get it right, until they burn off the karma. So I learned that there's different types of karma. There's the type of karma that you have in this life that's from a previous life, which might determine where you're born, your socioeconomic status, your family, shit like this. There's the type of karma that you earn and pay for while you're here. And there's the type of karma that is so bad that you can't experience the repercussions of it in this life. It happens in the next. So, with the concept of reincarnation being introduced into the whole concept of there's a God, this the equation starts to balance. This idea of eternal hell and eternal heaven and all this stuff is like heaven and hell are here. Enjoy yourself now. Why? What are you saving for the next life for? You should do everything right here and do like you can do things in here you can't do in heaven. What if this is heaven and you're fucking it up, dick? That's why I have all these cars. Um, I want to enjoy every day. What the fuck's wrong with that? Why like wait for retirement? I went to like a wealth management meeting today, and they're talking about how to have cognitive ability in your 60s and into hopefully old age. It's like all these people have like it was their logo. The logo was slogan was like plan wise, live bold, some shit like this. And how do I extend? How do I like now fit the fun in? It's like why weren't you having the fun the whole fucking time? What use is sitting on a fuck ton of a mountain of money when you're too old to like live or drive or fuck anybody? I'm doing it now. I'm already late. I wasted my 20s. I wasn't fucking around. And then I fucked around too much. Now I don't want to fuck around, but I believe anything that I want I can make here. So I'm gonna. I wanted to collect cars. Who's fucking stopping me? The fuck? When I would play Gran Turismo, I would buy every car that I liked that thought was cool. Put wheels on it, I change the color, I fucking lower it, I tune it. And then even if it was a slow car, I was like, I'd like just watching it on a turnstile. That I made that. Mine's cooler than yours. Mine's different. That's what I do with all my stuff. It's different. I like rare things rather than expensive things. This little 57 Speedster has so much personality. My neighbor across the way, she's like, I love your new car. It's my favorite of all the cars. I was telling my husband, it's like, are all these yours? I was like, yeah. She's like, they're not customer cars? I was like, no. It's like, you have to fucking live, don't you? Like, who am I saving it for? If I got hit by a bus tomorrow, I'm not even, well, my portfolio is worth a lot. I'm here. I'm in heaven. You want to come? Stay in hell, it's fine. You have to earn it. My point is that I'm seeing around me people make obvious mistakes, and TMZ guy, he has material success. He has a house in Laguna Beach. He has a Lambo and a Ferrari. He had a girlfriend for a month. But I know that he's in that phase of life where he's in the warrior phase still. Like it's not fulfilling. So he posts on the internet and is like, I made it, right? Did I make it? He goes reads on the beach. So he was hoping people notice that he's reading on the beach. Because it's not the reading that he's after, it's the acknowledgement. And then someone showed me a video where he's like, this old lady came up to me and she's like, you're such an inspirational to me. And yeah, that's what it's all for. Big fake veneers. It's like, even your smile is fake, bro. Fuck. Come on. Don't you see? And then my dumbass trying to help him. So that video said essentially that when you're conscious and you're like, you manifest from a different place, it triggers other people. Because they don't have the peace. They're trying to pretend they have the peace that I've achieved. You can't fake a vibration. So the things that I said, the fact that he related it in the worst possible connotation, it really bothered me. It was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Why would you jeopardize my business relationship? Why would you? He said you're the devil, dude. So you have an agenda. Like, if you're reading books, I have a hard time believing that you're unable to comprehend what I was trying to tell you and trying to help you. So he obviously never responded to my message. I don't care. Like, and if I see him at the gym, I'm gonna smile. I will smile. And yeah, good luck to you, friend. Now the funny thing is, like, so the brothers at this time, October 3rd, 2024, being sued by a family member, a business partner, and a family friend from childhood. I don't fall into any of those categories. You think they wouldn't fuck me over? Like, let's say, how many of them are misunderstandings? How are you innocent in all of the cases? It's not happening to me. No one's suing me. I've been sued before because of shit my business partner did, and I cleaned it up. I was like, you know what? He was my business partner, so I'm responsible. So, like, how can we fix it? But to these types of people, losing money and ego death is like death. You know? So now there are two businesses that I work with under the same roof, and one called the other a fraud. It's like, what did you do with the other money? What did you do with the rest of it? And it's obviously what kickstarted their lifestyle. Like, being able to show people on the internet that I've made it so that it attracts more money. And then the cycle goes on. Now, Could it not be that? Could it not be that? Okay. I, frankly, it doesn't. The only way it affects me is if they go out of business. It might affect my reputation because people will point at me and be like, "These are your friends." When I had the meeting with them, they're like, "Oh, people tell us like, why are you friends with Matt?" And we're like, "No, he's cool." They were like equalizing me. It's like they're literally like your family friends, your family friend, your business partner, and a family member are saying you guys are frauds. And then who's saying anything about me? Even my enemies know that I have integrity. You know what I mean? As such, I don't have enemies. It's their problem. Um, so I think in their case and the TMZ friend guy, uh, those are examples of people that I trigger. It's not. It's not. It's not that I believe that I am better than anybody, but clearly subconsciously they think I'm better than them. Hence the comparison and equalizing and gaslighting. Now, set the stage. Okay, so what's going to happen? I talked to my dad about it, and he's like, "You should separate yourself immediately." It's like, well, I I think I think these guys won't go down easy. I think I think they're leading to a very big reset, a very hard lesson financially. Because all these things at once, these things are stress factors, you know? And the problem, obviously, if you think you're a victim, you're not looking at how to fix it. Um, my prediction would be that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Um, there might be a class action suit at some point. There's a lot of things that professionally, from what I've heard, they've taken shortcuts on. So there are loopholes and there are holes and chinks in the armor. So I could see things getting very ugly very fast. Now, the other partner they share the building with, his name is on the lease, but he has the smallest part of the building. The rest of the building is subleased and used by the other company. And it'll put that guy's a new father. It's going to put a lot of stress on him. If this business relationship goes bad, if they get sued, if they stop paying rent, stuff like this. So like when I didn't hear from him about how they had a meeting and he called them frauds, but he was like, rent is due today and they didn't show up and they haven't sent it to me. Now, here's another thing. It's like one thing after another is that the brothers were sending rent to someone intercepted the email from the landlord and gave them fake routing information, bank information that was different every month, and they for like three or 4 months they sent it to the wrong place. So the landlord's like, "You owe me 3 or 4 months," and they're like, "Well, it's not our fault. Your emails got hacked." And then the guy whose name is on the lease, he's like, "You know, we have to pay something. It's my name on the lease. You can't just be like, well, it's not our fault and not do anything. Like they'll kick us out, and I have to feed my family." And these guys have other revenue streams. So they protect their money. They protect themselves. As long as things are good, they're looking out for you. But as predicted when I met them, push comes to shove, they'll look out for themselves and not you. Again, everyone has a path to redemption. No one's evil. Everybody's fine. You know, it's not how I would do it, but it's not because I was born knowing better. Actually, honestly, I feel like I was born knowing better, but I've made mistakes too. Is that fair? I've made fuck tons of mistakes and will continue to do so. So I don't vilify people for making mistakes. And I understand even when I warn someone, like, hey, this is what's going to happen, how they still have to do it themselves. We all have to do it ourselves. It's just how it goes. Um, so, that's a lot of specifics, as vague as I can make it, because obviously, like, I don't have any fear. Like, how would they stumble upon this fucking video? It'd be funny if it was like played in court as evidence. Um, but like an employee from one side was saying, if I was called to court to testify against the other side, I would. This is not a good. This is not a symbiotic relationship anymore. This is looking bad. So I don't know what's going to happen, but if the this is why I don't like partnerships. Even if you have a complementary skill set, like you have to be made of the same grit, sandpaper. Otherwise, it's conflicting. You're not. It's not equal effort, and it's not equal ability, frankly. So, me, thank God, I'm on the outside. It might. It might. Honestly, I don't think it'll fuck with me at all. We'll see. But from where it is now, I see it only getting worse. I don't see them waking up one day and being like, "We've been handling everything wrong. Let's do it the other way." And these guys are going to be enemies. These guys are going to hate each other, and both sides will be convinced they're correct. And then even I think TMZ is destined to have a fall, and it might take some time, and it might be after they invest money with each other. But the longer it takes to happen, the worse it'll be, and the more of a lesson it'll become. Ask me how I know. Usually, like, there's a voice in your head that knows, like, you open a door, you start going down it, you don't feel like you're in danger. You don't feel like it's a red flag, but there's nothing telling you that it's a good thing either. So you just keep going down the road. It's like, oh well, it's like this seems fine. Well, I noticed this, I noticed that, but let's keep going. I can fix this, or I can leave at any time. You lie to yourself to get to the next stage. It's like, I did that in relationships. When I dated the girl with 3 kids, when we met, like, it was long. I saw her once in the first 3 months, and then it slowly increased after that. But I thought, like, okay, well, like, we're just dating, and my options are open, and blah blah blah. And then before you know it, you just get sucked in, and then to get out, someone has to die. To get out, it's not fun. And of course, like, at the time, I hated it. I was like, this fucking sucks, and I was so hurt and so fucking, like, the punishment I was inflicting on myself. I was in mental anguish all the time. It was so rough. And then now in retrospect, it's like, I never liked her. She wasn't my type. When I met her, I was like, she has a weird shaped head. Her skin is made out of oatmeal. Like, it's raw. It's like, it's legit. It's like lumpy. Looks great at pictures. She's great at editing. And after a lot of injections and Botox and fucking whatever else, looks like a completely different person. But, when you wake up next to Freddy Krueger, you know, it doesn't matter what she looks like when she's going out for other people or what she looks like on the internet for other people. It's like, I'm waking up next to her, and every time she touches me, it bothers me. How did I get hurt? I thought I was in control. I thought I thought a lot of things. Um, but again, you learn by doing it. You learn the most by fucking up. So go ahead, fuck up. Do the fuck ups. I think this will be the last time, because the one partner that's calling the other partners frauds, that guy has had, over the last decade that I've known him, maybe less, he's had a lot of partners. Comes in, partners, doesn't work out, breaks up. And it's never like on good terms, or they never, well, if they could separate on decent terms, but it's never good. I think the lesson here is that he needs to just be on his own, just like for me. Um, a lot of people in my industry hate that guy, um, because of the way he talks, because of the way he presents himself. I think he's very conservative online, but I've never had a better partner. He pays me before I do the job. Like, there are people who haven't paid me from June. I'm like, I'm not a fucking bank. Why do I have to? I'm COD. I do the job. Give me the money. Actually, there's people that didn't have it, haven't paid me since, like, the invoice is 200 days old. I should I should show up. They're like, oh, sorry, our sales guy got in a really bad accident. He hasn't been here all year. It's like, okay, well, you're the one who pays the invoice. The job's already done. So I understand why there's no new jobs, but where is the money for what I did? Sorry for your loss, but give me my fucking money. I'm not a bank. So, anyways, um, these types of things I think happen until we figure it out, figure out our life path. I was thinking, okay, so if these guys, if the brothers abandon the business or sell the business, what would happen? I think that all of their employees hate them. That might be a common thing, but I think the place has only worked because they got really lucky with having good kids working for them. They all complain. They all say that they're being overworked and underpaid and underappreciated, but they stay. It's like an abusive relationship. But each of these kids has the potential to eventually go on their own and start their own business, and eventually, like, weirdly, my network has grown because of stuff like that. It's like I do work for a shop, the employees get sick of their shit and then move on their own, and then I have two shops. Like, it works out where everyone's upset initially, but it's like you wouldn't have the freedom or the money you have right now if you stayed in that relationship. Why hate that person for giving you an opportunity to move on? I think every man should be, every person, frankly, men usually, should be master of their own destiny. I find it very strange that You have to ask permission from another adult when you can go pick up your kid or go to the dentist or go to the bathroom. That's kid shit. I'm an adult. No one should be telling me what to do. As long as I stay within the bounds of the law, everybody fuck off. Let me live. So as long as I'm not bothering anybody, let me fuck around. Um, in the old days, everyone was farmers, right? And then if you weren't a farmer, you were fucking a tanner or a blacksmith, or everyone had a trade. You know, I might as well say it, but I don't like. Probably not a good tangent to go on, but like agents, like I'll get you work and you pay me 10%. I think it's a crazy thing to interfere with. I make money every time you work. That's slavery, isn't it? You know, I uh, I don't know how conceptually someone came up with that. It's like, okay, I'll do the talking to all of my friends that are also in this industry, and then you work and we'll all get paid. Okay, literal slavery. Um, I was gonna say there's a lot of the spiritual videos I watch. First of all, they all say the wonderful tapestry of life. They already keep using the word tapestry. One person said it, now tapestries everywhere. But they talk about the matrix, which is the illusion, the 3D world, the rat race, right? And then when you wake up from the rat race is when you take control of your life and you, I guess, see things the way I see, like what's happening in these guys' life is rat race shit, matrix shit. No matter which way the cards fall, I'm fine. You know, a few years ago, I would have been in the thick of it. Um, and at this point, I know even if I tried to get involved and try to make it, I mean, it needs to go the direction it's going. Whatever happens. Um, but they talk about the movie The Matrix, and then in The Matrix, Neo, when he goes in, anyone can turn into an Agent Smith. So any unconscious person can be like a an agent of the Matrix to defend the Matrix. So when I was telling TMZ things, the guy, and he turned into an Agent Smith. He turned into an agent of the Matrix to protect the Matrix. Um, so he's an NPC, essentially. He talks about manifestation and spirituality and shit. Like he doesn't has no fucking idea what he's talking about. There's no fucking reading a book doesn't teach you shit. So what have you learned from the universe you live in? The observable universe. Because I can write anything in a book. Once you read it, doesn't mean you know what I know. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, but my answers, the important ones, come directly from, and not as a download, it says you're gay, from cause effect, observing how the universe works. Like the shepherd and the alchemist. I was watching today a bird of prey, like a hawk, being continuously attacked by a smaller bird, probably to protect its nest. And the hawk wasn't too bothered about it. Just like move a little bit to get around the attack. But I was like, okay, is this a symbol of something? Because I think in The Alchemist, that was a sign of war coming. Oh fuck, there is a war coming. There is a war coming. Um, they said Iran sent a lot of missiles to Israel. None of them hit like strategic targets or military targets or anything like this. And then we promised retaliation. It's like, oh, oh, this thing that was always going to happen and has been planned for over a decade, maybe two. I'm so scared. Everything's over. Everything's different now. Um, okay. Do I have anything else to add? Agent Smith, fucking guy. So today didn't have, well, I had a job, but it was like an easy one. Um, and it coincides with the energy drain I felt yesterday. So I talk about how I know how my spiritual energy is doing, and like my nose is stuffy, like my body's not right. I have been spiritually compromised, so now I'm physically compromised. Um, I noticed cause and effect, right? I'm an observant person. I am not the smartest person who ever existed, but I bet you the smartest person who ever existed doesn't know the things I know. You know, maybe did it. I have no idea. I don't know how you would measure the smartest person who ever lived, but I'm fucking observant, and when I observe, I mean, hopefully prevents bad shit from happening to me. I don't know what the point of being able to see it is if I can't help fix it. It's a weird place I'm in. Like, I know what's going to happen in so many things. It's like, oh yeah, that's a dead end. Go ahead, gaslight yourself till the end. I did it, and like not having an emotional response to that. It's like, I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. Give it your all. Give it your all. Um, yeah, I feel like the world is tumbling into chaos. Threat of war, especially with my home country. I suppose this is my home country, but like I'm only here because the CIA fucked my home country. Um, Thank you, George Bush Sr. or Carter, or whoever is in charge of that. Jimmy Carter it turned 100 this week, and he's just a corpse. Just hold his nose until it's like you know he's not doing anything. Just hold his nose for 3 minutes, but then put him in the ground. We're done. He's not doing anything now. Why is he holding on? What kind of life is that? Like, you know when old people are at the mall and they're like scared of the escalator? Throw me down when I get there. Just kick me down like Sparta. If I can't figure out stairs, it's past. Get rid of me. Put me in the ground. It's for new people. Um, I'm just kidding, obviously, but am I? He's frozen. Like, oh, he made it to 100. He didn't. He didn't make. He died years ago. His heart's still pumping, but that ain't a person. Ask him to tie his shoes. Ask him to tie your shoes. Ask him if he knows what shoes are. So this, I listened to like an hour-long presentation about keeping your cognitive function high. They didn't talk about fasting. They had like people ask questions in the audience, and I had the should I say something? And I was like, I'm in a room full of people at the Pacific Club in Newport Beach. Everyone's wearing a suit, and I'm wearing my like gym clothes because that's how I go to work. I was like walking in, people are looking at like I don't meet the dress code, but they couldn't say anything. It's like, no, I'm very important. I'm supposed to be here. So these people were talking about grounding. Someone's like, I learned about grounding. Is that good? Um, I wanted to tell them to, that fasting, dry fasting specifically, the guy was talking about how your brain shrinks to 65% of its size in the night. I feel like that's what I feel. it's getting rid of toxins. Your brain loses 5 pounds of chemicals throughout the year. Like it's the chemical reactions. It's excreting, so it shrinks and pushes the shit out. Then it grows back. I think I feel when it shrinks and it's bouncing around in there. I got a big head. My brain's huge. So um, I wanted to talk about fasting to clear your body out and to allow your body to repair and stuff like this, cognitive function. And then I wanted to be like, and mushrooms. Go do research. Um, but I figured, why, especially in a crowd, never identify yourself. Nobody needs to know what it like. It would be so cool if I made a room full of old people go try mushrooms. I wish. Maybe next year. I'll go to the meeting next year. And I'll talk. I promise. If they have the meeting next year, I'll come in a suit. I'm the youngest person by like 30 years already. But if I wear a suit, they don't know that I'm homeless. So I could tell them anything. Drink your pee. A lot of gurus say that. It might be the cure to death. The Brotherhood of the Golden Dawn drink their pee in the morning, and they say that this is the fountain of youth for some reason because it contains the essence of life. I think it's because there's pre-cum in your morning pee, because that's the essence of life is cum, not fucking urine. Urine is trash. Um, but I'll just go when it's my turn to die. I'll just die. I don't want to be drinking pee or cum. I'm okay. In both cases, I'm fine. I don't know. Like I'll be here as long as God wants me to be here, and then you won't see me at 100 like this. I won't do it. I'll hold my breath. Just someone has to change my diapers. 3, 4. Like, what is he eating even? Can he eat? Does he have teeth still? They took an X-ray of my fucking head today, and I swear I was looking really hard to see if I have a brain tumor. I was like, this pain in my head, I'm telling you, it's something else. So it's like my skeleton. And it's weird to look at that. It's like that's what's underneath there. Happy Halloween. And I could see exactly how that orthodontist fucked my teeth up, and I'm like, motherfucker. There's nothing he can do to make it up to me. It's like he killed one of my kids. Um, what a horrific thing to do to someone who has OCD. Um, all right, I've rambled enough. So I think it'll be interesting to see if there's more betrayals, if there's, you know what I mean? I don't like the vibe there right now. Um, but even if it falls apart, it all happens for a reason. God has a bigger plan. I I wonder. I really wonder how it's going to unfold. Because usually when it gets this far, once people start calling you a scammer publicly, you piss off the wrong person. They'll go on a disinformation campaign on you on the internet. And then people who have invested with you, people who are partners with you, they'll start to get nervous. Oh shit, he has my money. This guy's a scammer? Oh fuck, I just paid him this much money. And then people want to pull out. Then someone starts talking to each of these people. If you've been scammed by this guy, call this law firm. Then you have a big fucking problem. And like, I don't say that to be like, I hope that happens. Why would I hope that? It's chaos today. I don't even want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. but I could definitely see that happening. I don't know how they can't. Like everything you guys are doing is really risky, in my opinion. Okay, still an hour. Wow. I thought I talked for 10 minutes. I had no idea I had anything to talk about. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't need to talk about my weekend plans or anything. I feel, just in general, although the world's falling apart and business stuff and blah, 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 I feel weirdly at peace. Like, I feel like I should be worried, but I'm not. There's like so many things that have changed and are changing and are essentially out of my hands. But like usually I will have, in this type of situation, I have some type of panic or anxiety or something like this, and I don't. And then I ask, like, okay, God, any signs for me? I'm always paying attention. I pay attention too much. Today I was like, okay, look at the sky. Stop looking at license plates and numbers. Just look up. And then I saw the birds flying. I was like, oh fuck, more. I can't escape. I can't escape. This shit's everywhere. So I just saw all I've been seeing is 444. It's like, okay, I trust you, God, whatever. Like I saw a car turn right. It's like next to me, and he turns, and it was a taxi that all the numbers are fours. And then I was like, does that count? I don't know. And then a car drives by, 444. I'm like, okay, it counted. So divinely guided, right path. Let's see what happens. Um, I'm finished with the trainer at the gym, and he was like, "Come next week. Look, I'll think about it. You can't pay me to do it. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. I don't care if you're sad. I hate it. At my job, I never look at the clock and be like, what time is it? Fuck, when am I out of here? How much more? And when I'm training with him, I'm someone who goes to the gym every day, but when I'm training with someone, it's just like, when the fuck is this over? I don't know why that is. You'd think I'd enjoy it. I don't at all. Anyways, so that's over. Thanks God. Um, have a busy weekend. I guess one thing that's happening that's of note in my life is baby shower. My brother is having tweens, so I had to go there on Sunday, and I already bought them a gift, the most expensive thing that I could get because I was forced to. And then I got other gifts, so like their first teddy bear kind of thing for the boy and girl. So it's like the same type of teddy bear, but one's blue and one's pink. I think that would be cool. First gift from Amu Pedro. I still don't feel like it's real. I don't know how it's gonna be. Or like I feel like I'll be dead before it happens. Which like means there's 3 weeks left in my life. I don't feel like anything's happening. I don't feel like anything has changed. But weirdly, I think before the year's over, everything in my life will be completely different. The house I'm moving to, the number, the house number, it is divisible by 111, 222, 323, 444, 777, 888, 999. All of them. And I don't like math. I saw a meme that said this number is divisible by all these angel numbers. I was like, oh, that's fucking interesting. I think this address is not. Venture to guess these are shit numbers I have on this building. Swedish prison. Okay, I rambled enough. Thank you for I can't believe my friends watch this. God bless you. Um, okay, probably after the weekend. I'll have more stuff to report unless something big happens. But um, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It's a Truman Show reference.